Welcome back to the Love Well by Doing Good podcast, where every conversation reminds us that when we love well by doing good, we create businesses that bless people, prosper communities, and change the world. So today's episode is called Purpose Before Profit. It's good for business. Because here's the truth, when you love well by doing good, profit follows. So this is where this all started. Several years ago, I read a book that reshaped how I see business forever. The book is called Firms of Endearment by Raj Sisodia, Jagdish Sheth, and David Wolfe. And if you've read Good to Great by Jim Collins, this actually takes it a step further. These researchers discovered that the world's most beloved companies didn't just chase profit. They actually loved well by doing good. And they built deep emotional connections with customers, employees, and communities. So, over 15 years, these purpose-driven firms of endearment outperformed the S&P 500 by nearly 1,700%. I'm going to say it again. Over 15 years, so they tracked these companies. The purpose-driven firms of endearment companies outperformed the entire S&P 500 by nearly 1,700%. The good to great companies by almost 1,500%. So the data's clear. Purpose before profit, or what I call love well by doing good, is not only right, it's remarkably effective. So one of my favorite examples of this truth is the partnership between Ben & Jerry's ice cream and Greystone Bakery. When Ben & Jerry's imagined their chocolate fudge brownie ice cream, they weren't just searching for the best brownie, they were actually searching for a partner who loved well by doing good. So the search led them to Greystone Bakery, whose mission is as rich as its brownies. Ben & Jerry's wanted a supplier who believed in second chances, dignity, and inclusion. A company committed to love well by doing good in its community. And at Greystone Bakery, they bake delicious brownies so they can love well by doing good, creating meaningful jobs for people once locked out of opportunity through their inclusive open hiring policy. No interviews, no background checks, just another chance. And they say, we don't hire people to bake brownies, we bake brownies to hire people. Let me say that again. They don't hire people to bake brownies. They actually bake brownies so they can hire people. So it's not the idea that we hire people to make brownies and we make brownies to hire people. It's business turned right side up. Purpose first, profit second, and people always. In 1982, Bernie Glassman, who was an aeronautical engineer turned Zen Buddhist monk, opened a small bakery guided by a simple idea: find a need, fill it, and love well by doing good. And when he moved Greystone to Yonkers, New York, which is a suburb of New York City, to serve an underserved community, this foundation of open hiring was born, a living expression of grace and inclusion. And then 5 years later, Bernie met Ben Cohen at a summit for socially conscious businesses. And together, they created more than dessert. They created chocolate fudge brownie ice cream and a legacy of loving well by doing good. Their collaboration has since generated millions of dollars for the community. They fund training, wraparound support, and second chances for countless individuals. Today, as a certified B Corporation, Greystone continues to prove that when you love well by doing good, everyone wins. Employees, customers, neighborhoods, and yes, even the bottom line. That's what it looks like to turn something as ordinary as baking into a movement of redemption and hope. So, you might be thinking, that's inspiring, but can I do that? Can my small business do that? Can any small business do that? And absolutely, I've witnessed it. My husband, Tom, and I run a real estate company. At a conference, his coach asked, because Tom was kind of down and discouraged and kind of had lost his purpose. He'll tell the story that we raised 4 daughters, we got them, schooling and out of the house, and now he was sleeping in. And Tom gets up at 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So I said to him one day, "Are you sick?" And he said, "No." But I think he realized, he was kind of depressed because he didn't have a next thing, a next purpose. And so his coach at this conference asked Tom, "What do you care about most?" And without hesitation, he said water. I still tear up. Giving people access to clean, fresh water. Because in the research, for years, we had looked at companies that didn't just create a well somewhere. They created a business in a community. They created an opportunity for women not to walk 20 miles or worry that their children would be eaten by crocodiles. I can't imagine. So the coach replied, "Well, Tom, do your clients know what you care about? I mean, do they know your why?" And he said no. And she smiled. "They should." She said, "People choose professionals who love well by doing good." She didn't use those exact words, but that was her intention, is that people choose you because of the impact you make in the world. And that insight changed everything. So Tom actually kind of reluctantly added this small paragraph to his presentations, explaining that a portion of every commission that we earn funds clean water projects worldwide. In fact, we take it right off the top. Soon, he met with sellers of $1 million home, and after sharing his purpose, and by the way, he was up against the best real estate agents in the city. In fact, he even said, "I'm not really sure why they called me," because he didn't look at himself that way, even though he was, and we were a top team, but he was selected. And so he got to that page, and after sharing the purpose, and he was going to turn the page quickly, they said, wait, go back. We want to hear more. And so he told them a little bit more, and he left, and they said they had a couple of other people to interview, and they would get back to him. And I think it was on a Friday, they called and they said, "We've chosen you." And every agent was very qualified, but there was something different about you. And Tom said, "Well, could I ask what that was?" And the people said, "Yes, Tom, you have a purpose, and we want to be part of that." That listing brought a lot of profit. I think it was over $60,000. But more importantly, it brought impact. That's purpose before profit, and that's loving well by doing good. We give a framed certificate to every client that works with us, showing them actually how many lives were saved because of their trusting us to sell their house or help them buy a house. There was a man who was an attorney, and at closing, I remember him getting this, and he was just a hard-driving attorney. Kind of seemed like a guy that maybe just cared about getting the job done or making money, not so much people. But when Tom gave him the certificate, he actually got really teary, and he said, and he stood up and he held it up and he yelled "Look at me, I did something good." And then he hung it on his wall. So it not only created impact for people that need clean water, it made impact in the life of that man and in every client maybe, that he served, because he thought about love well by doing good. So my passion to help small business owners love well by doing good led me actually to create an 8-week course. 11 owners joined that journey. The outcome was remarkable. Not only did profitability rise, but their whole culture shifted. teams found alignment, and people rediscovered why their work mattered and why they mattered to the work. So when a company makes what we call the mission the boss, instead of the boss, the vision and the mission, well, employees engage from the heart. And then profit grows and retention climbs and joy returns. And we should be measuring joy in our life and in our business, and often we don't. But this lets us. So when your purpose or your mission comes first, your mission and your vision and your values and your beliefs all align, and the feeling of your company and the energy of your people begins to communicate something entirely different to your customers and clients. Your business starts to speak love. It feels like purpose, and people want to be part of that. So much more in the world. I was just talking to a small business owner who said, I actually am boycotting companies that are harming the earth in some way. And I'm actually looking for companies and business owners that are doing something to create impact and add something, to the community in some way. I think deep down in our hearts, we all long to really make a difference. And loving well by doing good gives every person in an organization a way to contribute, belong, and find meaning beyond the numbers. Maybe you don't work for someone, but maybe you volunteer to a nonprofit or to a school or to your community in some way. And so it doesn't just have to be about business. It's about loving well by doing good, maybe in the grocery store. Maybe you speak to somebody and offer them a compliment. Or maybe you drive nicer in traffic. Or maybe you just do something anonymously to help somebody else. All of that creates this ripple of love in the world. And I think you'd probably agree with me that we need a lot more of that right now. So my personal mission is really just simple: to love well by doing good. It's the rhythm of my coaching and my business and my life. And because when we love well by doing good, we lead with our heart and we serve with excellence, and we measure success by the lives we touch, not just the dollars we can earn. I've had the privilege, really, of coaching hundreds of entrepreneurs. And when they pivot from profit first to purpose driven, everything changes for them. Their energy, their culture, their connection to themselves and other people, and yes, profit. And we know from the study that this is really good for our business. So firms of endearment showed that companies practicing love well by doing good, valuing purpose over mere profit, enjoy breathtaking, sustainable success. Isn't that refreshing? Like breathtaking, sustainable success. Because love creates loyalty and purpose builds trust. And then together they generate results spreadsheets alone can't capture. So imagine if every business, every cafe, every salon, every startup, every real estate office, every business, big or small, asked, how can we love well by doing good through what we build? What would shift? Communities could thrive, and workplaces could heal, and clients, we'd become partners in purpose with us. So that's the world I see. And it starts with one courageous decision to put purpose before profit. Because when you love well by doing good, you don't just change your business, you change you. And that's where it starts. Like, you're the heart of your business. As the leader goes, so goes the business. So, will you join me in let's go make business beautiful? One purpose, one person, one act of love at a time. So as you go about your day, whether it's at the grocery store or in your work, with your family and friends in your community, pause and ask yourself, what does love well by doing good look like today? Here are 3 simple things I just want to give you to be looking at, just not just listening to this, but taking this message and turning it into action. First, reflect where in your business or in your life could you shift from profit first to purpose first this week, today. Second, reconnect. Ask your team or your family or even your clients, what would it look like for us to love well by doing good right here, right now? And 3, respond. Choose one tangible act of good. Maybe it's a conversation, a donation, a collaboration, or some kind of decision that reflects your deeper why. Because remember, every moment is an opportunity to love well by doing good. So, until next time, keep leading with love, and then watch what happens when purpose becomes your most powerful profit. See you later.